Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews, everyone. Hope you all had a happy New Year's Day. We're gonna get into another Bounding into Comics article. Chewbacca actor Juna Suetamo calls out toxic fandom in response to feminist criticism of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Basically, to give you a small insert, the Chewbacca actor is calling out a female raging third wave feminist who cannot handle or abide that men were involved in this movie and men had an influential or dominant part or whatever their perception is in this movie. So let's get into it. This is by Spencer Paculi. So Spencer, thank you for your great writing, man. You are one of the many people in this community that keeps us and gives us great content. So yeah, Juna Suetamo, the actor behind the furry Chewbacca suit, and recently spoke out against toxic fandom in response to a harsh critique through a feminist lens of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. On December 20th, Inside Edition's senior social media producer, Comics Beat contributor Claudia Amenabar published a Twitter thread harshly criticizing what she felt were absolutely terrible messages about female power in Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. I could write a thesis on the absolutely effing terrible messages about female power in The Rise of Skywalker. But all I'll say is that I would under no circumstances want any little girls to watch this movie. Every single woman's arc is about developing a man. The most powerful woman in the universe is revealed to come from and be tied to men. Oh, Jesus, this woman is just such a freaking... Anyway, she is made to doubt her power and herself and only overcomes that with help from a man. Woman, if you don't like men, then frickin' move to Themyscira. Jeez. Rey's power and rage is painted as hate and not justified female anger. In the face of injustice, she becomes a damsel in distress at one point. God forbid a woman have almost unlimited power, want to use it for justice, and not be penalized heavily for it. F her, am I right? Leia, Jana, Zori, and all of their stories were in service to men, as well. F these movies entirely. Even Padme was treated better, and she's patient zero of this phenomenon. Wow. Jana, I'm sorry, you deserved better. In response to this thread, Suetamo joined the conversation and called out Amenabar and her supporters for their misleading claims and identifying them as a toxic element of the fandom. And he says thus, toxic fandom is built on the same straw men that this thread is, or built on the same strong men, or whatever, straw, he says straw, S-T-R-O-A-W, that this is abundant with. Deceptively insinuating to be a fan, this writer uses misleading claims to sow confusion among people who want to enjoy a story for what it is. Please find better things to do. Peace. Following his tweet, supporters of Amenabar's criticism chastised Suetamo and accused him of silencing her, while simultaneously and ironically claiming he doesn't get to make this call. So one woman says, Junas, 1, the writer is a legit fan and has been for years. Intimidating otherwise to undercut her reaction is crappy. 2, review the arcs of the women in the movie and reflect on what she's arguing. Another one says, nice way of contributing to create a nice and safe place for women in the fandom, Junas. it's already hard for us to be heard in this fandom, and you intervene on a fan thread and silencing her because you can't take any criticism. No, he's actually trying to silence hatred and bigotry. That's what he was doing. She's entitled to her opinion, but her hatred and bigotry that is attached to her opinion is what he was addressing. A Mandalorian freelancer, I've heard of this person. Eunice, until you have suffered from sexual assault and harassment to the point of feeling obligated to be kind to someone who is causing you that pain, you don't get to make this call. Your offense is dismissing the thousands angry and triggered by the treatment of women hurt. Oh my gosh. Play the victim cards. Women play the victim cards. It sucks that women are sexually assaulted, but hey, men are too. And they are the ones that commit suicide and rarely come forward because they will be shamed for it. But hey, that's a different thing altogether. However, Swatomo's tweet was also met with a wave of support from fans thanking Swatomo for addressing the issue and those who took issue with the entire premise of the criticism. You understand, or one person writes, you understand it's a movie featuring magical powers, glowing swords, and aliens. You honestly believe little girls are looking at this movie thinking that they need a man in the future? They are going to be saying they want to be a Jedi and travel in space. Get a grip. 100% agree with that tweet. Arsenal Report writes, imagine being this angry about perceived injustice that you invent problems and inject them into movies so you have something to rant about. Newsflash, Star Wars isn't real. The most powerful woman in the universe doesn't exist. So she doesn't get her power from anyone. Very true. Another one writes, don't know if you've noticed, but all of the people thanking Jonas are also women, many of whom have been targeted by this fan you're defending. She doesn't speak for all women and never has. And then another one, the reverse is equally true. As a woman who suffered sexual assault, I completely stand behind Jonas's right to voice his opinion and tell his side in discussions of the art he was directly involved in making. The privilege of some to say he can't. His words are heartening to me. So yeah, they all came to his... I agree with Jonas. I'm sorry, I agree with Jonas in this. That woman was completely out of line with her critique of Star Wars Episode 9. I mean, I'm not a fan of it, and there was very little identity politics in it. They had that one pandering lesbian kiss, that was about it. Just so that they could say, we have gay representation in Star Wars. Even though Star Wars has had gay representation literally for years. I mean, over a decade. There was a gay Mandalorian in the EU. And there was other characters who were queer and gay as well. So yeah, folks. Hardcore feminist. Raging because it's okay to be reliant on men as well as women. Because that is what balance is. You see, you don't cut down guys to build up women because you're not building them up. You're simply taking their mediocrity and putting them up on a higher level. So you're raising mediocrity. That's basically the point. Anyway, folks, that is the video. Y'all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Let me know your thoughts about all these, oh my gosh, these idiots that are raging feminists that hate men. What do you think of this woman, Claudia Amenabar's words and her distaste for men and whatnot? Let me know down in the comments below. I hope Hope you all had a good new year. This has been Orange Chat Reviews. Catch you all on the next one.